In a dystopian future, in 2037, Gotham City is still just as ripe with criminals. The billionaire Derek Powers has taken over the city with his money and influence, even buying out Bruce Wayne's company, now named Wayne Powers. Bruce Wayne is getting old and will soon be unfit to continue fighting crime as everyone's favorite vigilante. After one of his missions almost goes bad, he decides to hang the cape for good. But what if someone else took over and became the new Batman? We open on a warehouse where thugs are gathered and are holding captive Bunny Vreeland, a famous debutante. Batman soon arrives on the scene to save Bunny, but he's fighting with a lot more trouble than he used to. As one of the criminals almost overtakes him, Batman is forced to point a gun at the criminal and threaten to eliminate him. The criminal runs away. This was one of the principles Batman has sworn to always respect, never resort to eliminating anyone, and he's shaken that he has come so close to doing it. As the police come to arrest the criminals and free Bunny, Batman is thoughtful. Getting older and now having almost broken his golden rule, he's not sure he can continue to be the Dark Knight of the city. We meet Warren McGinnis, a man who works for Derek Powers but doubts his integrity. He's meeting up in secret with one of his colleagues who works as a scientist for Powers, Harry Tully, who fearfully hands him a disc and asks him to keep it a secret. Right after he does so, Powers catches up to him with his imposing right-hand man, Mr. Fix, and Mr. Tully is drugged and taken away. We briefly see that strange black marks are covering his body under his sleeves. Warren's son is Terry, a rebellious teenager who doesn't get along well with him and likes going out. He also does wrestling to help him channel his energy and be more rigorous. As he gets home, his father is looking at the disc Mr. Tully handed him, but shuts down his screen when he sees his son enter the room. The two bicker, and Terry decides to go out to a club with the girl he's seeing. They arrive in front of a nightclub and start queuing to get in. But the crowd is disrupted by the gang of the Jokers, coming in to cause chaos on their motorcycles. They're a gang inspired by the supervillain Joker, who dresses up like a clown and show up to make jokes only they find entertaining. They snatch Terry's girlfriend and flee. Outraged, Terry launches after them and chases them across the city until they arrive in front of a mansion, a little further away from the big buildings and the busy streets. Terry is ready to fight to get back his girlfriend, but they're interrupted by an old man who is walking near the gates of the mansion. The Jokers start making fun of him, but he shows impressive combat skills and takes out a good part of the gang with Terry's help. They run away. Although he showed impressive skills, after the effort, the old man is in bad shape. Terry helps him back to his mansion, where he falls asleep on the couch. While having a look around before leaving, Terry accidentally discovers a secret path leading to a cave, where all of Batman's costumes are kept. He understands that the man he helped back to his mansion is no other than the famous superhero Batman. Bruce Wayne wakes up and catches him before angrily chasing him away. Now back at his family's apartment, Terry finds the place has been left in a mess. The tags suggest that this was the doing of the Jokers. The police are there as well as his mother, Mary McGinnis, who is crying. Terry asks where his dad went, but following his mother's silence, he understands that his dad was eliminated by the Jokers. After the funeral, Terry is devastated. He won't come out of his room, even with his mom and his little brother begging him to. While having a look around his father's office, he finds the disc Mr. Tully left him. Intrigued by the find, he starts suspecting there is more to his father's murder than simple revenge from the Jokers. No one around him seems to believe his theory though, and Terry can only think of one man who might be able to help him: Batman. His girlfriend drives Terry back in front of the dark mansion. He calls Bruce Wayne on the interphone, not expecting much. He's met with silence at first, but as he's about to turn around and leave, the gates open to let him in. On episode 2, Bruce Wayne and Terry have a look at the disc inside the Batcave. They discover that it contains the property of a toxic, murderous gas that Derek Powers has been secretly testing inside the Wayne Powers building. While angered that Powers has been using the buildings he built to create a mass murder weapon, he tells Terry to bring the disc to the police and do nothing else. Before he leaves, Terry admires the bat suits displayed inside the cave, wondering why Bruce Wayne won't be Batman anymore. As Terry is on his way back home, he's stopped by a limo with Derek Powers and his assistant, Mr. Fix, inside. Derek invites him in for a chat, but when he refuses, he threatens to take him out if he doesn't give them back the disc. Terry hands it over, but then knocks out Mr. Fix and flees before they can capture him. While he was at the Wayne mansion, Terry stole one of Bruce's bat suit and now puts it on so that he can fly to the Wayne Powers building and spy on Derek. He's having trouble flying properly in it, but soon gets the hang of it. The technology inside the suit allows him to fly up to the last floor of the building and listen to the conversation taking place inside. Powers and Mr. Fix are receiving Vilmos Egan's, the minister of another country who's looking for a powerful war weapon. Derek is pitching the killer gas to him to convince him to buy it. We see pictures of Mr. Tully and the black marks on his body, which were in fact caused by the poisonous gas. They promise Vilmos to ship out a full hovercraft of the gas to him before he leaves. Still listening in, Terry now hears Derek talk about him. He wonders if Terry is going to be a problem, to which Mr. Fix answers that he should stay out of their way now that he's taken care of his dad. Terry becomes furious at the fact that Derek was actually the one responsible. Before he can act, guards of the building locate him on the roof, and he has to fight them off. There are many of them, continuing to chase after him even down to the Wayne Powers warehouse, where he tries to find a place to hide. Even if the bat suit is new to him, Terry seems to be bold and a good fighter, and he knows how to use it to his advantage to get rid of the guards. Bruce soon gets in touch with him through a microphone inside the suit. He's figured out that Terry has stolen his suit and is ordering him to bring it back to the Wayne mansion. Terry can't, because he's in the middle of a fight, but has also planned to locate the hovercraft with the poisonous gas and foil Derek's plan. After some consideration and almost deciding to render the suit useless to stop Terry, Bruce decides to let Terry fight in the suit, then even offers a tip so that Terry can hide behind a secret wall in the building. Being the warehouse of his old company, Bruce Wayne knows of all the secret pathways. He won't hear anything about the rest of Terry's plan, however, at least until Terry mentions his deceased father. He tells Bruce that this will be his only chance to get revenge on Mr. Fix, the man who took out his dad, and Bruce relates it to his own experience of losing his parents as a kid. He lets Terry continue on with his mission despite his reserve. He tells Terry where to find the hovercrafts. In the hovercraft hangar, the shipment of gas is ready to leave for another country. Many guards are surveilling the operation while Derek and Mr. Fix are making sure all is in order. Terry sneaks in close to them until the guards around the hovercraft spot him. He swoops in, landing next to Derek and Mr. Fix to tell them they'll be arrested, but the guards jump to catch him. He fights off a giant mechanical arm before being left one-on-one against Derek. As Derek is about to shoot him, Terry throws a can of poisonous gas between them, and Derek's bullet breaks the glass container. The gas leaks and poisons Derek. Before the hovercraft can take off, Terry flies right in time to latch onto one of the plane's wings. He makes his way inside, to confront Mr. Fix this time. The man makes fun of him when he sees him dressed as Batman. The superhero hasn't been active in years, and Mr. Fix thinks he's a fraud. But Terry tells him confidently that he's the real Batman. As they fight, Terry pushes him against the control board of the plane and his electric brass knuckles electrocute him when they come in contact with the commands. Terry manages to escape the plane before it loses balance and dips into the sea with Mr. Fix inside. The next day, Terry is woken up early by his mom who tells him he has a visitor. He finds Bruce Wayne in his living room, waiting for him. The famous billionaire tells his mom that as a thank you for saving him from the Jokers the other day, he wants to offer Terry a job as his assistant. Terry and Bruce look at each other knowingly. They both know that Bruce is actually offering him to become the new Batman, but under Bruce's orders. Terry accepts and they shake hands on it. Terry will become the new Batman. Meanwhile, Derek Powers is being healed from his contact with the killer gas through intense radiation. The scientists around him, wearing heavy protection to not get radiated, tell him that he will make a good recovery, but that there is one downside to the radiation. Derek, impatient and angry, forced them to turn off the radiation so that he can discover his new appearance. His skin has become a worrying translucent green, with his bones being visible through it. He laughs at the terrifying sight.